Okay. I don't know if anybody else gets this exact feeling, but when you've paid for something that is really, really expensive, but then you've waited so long for that thing to come to fruition, like I'm talking months, maybe even like weeks and weeks and stuff. But when it comes to fruition, you feel like it's free. Even if you spent like 200 plus, 300, 400 plus dollars on it, you feel like it's free because you don't really remember the like consequences of buying it at the time, or like the hurt that it felt when you get the anyways. I recently went to the Miku Expo and I had paid for those tickets in October and it happened yesterday. So yeah, that was pretty sick. I basically got to go to Miku for free. I didn't, but I did in my mind. So I went to the Miku 2026 Expo and it was fucking huge. It's very, very cool. I'm very, very happy about how it went. Yeah, it was really, so one of the really cool things is not only did I like buy them so long ago, but we set up this trip way back in October to where like we had a friend fly in and another friend to go pick up, and we all made it happen. So that was really, really cool. We organized it like forever ago and then just basically got to reap the rewards of said very early planning, which was super, super sick. I love being organized, very organized person. It very much helps me enjoy myself at the event when I've got everything all set up and my ducks in line. Very, very cool. But yeah, apart from that, I went in like full cosplay with two other Mikus. One was a little bit more goth. Voila, she's right here. And then the other one, a little bit more purple, a little bit. Voila. Miku, Miku, Miku. Very, very cool. We took a lot of photos that day. We basically spent the entire day of the expo with the expo planned for the end of it. And then everything up to it was either getting ready, which was this much, and then like a bunch of photos, which was really cool because I've gotten in the habit of like documenting everything so that I don't forget, or I can look back on things a little bit more accurately, which is really cool because I've just been seeing so much reward from doing that. I get to go perfectly relive that moment just scrolling through my phone. I think that's really sick. It's really, really cool. And I'm nothing but grateful for myself in the moment, being able to like remember to take more photos. I think that's awesome. It's very, very cool. This isn't the first time I've been fully in Miku. I've done it 2 other times, 3, including this one. And every single time I take it like a bit further. And this time, to take it a step further, all 3 have been for concerts. But this time I also did my nails with everything. So that was really cool. I got some press-on nails from a friend and they all helped me put everything together. Makeup, hair, like taking care of the wig. Everything was really, really good. I just got everything together and they did all the hard work. So I am very, very appreciative for both Lemon and Kem for helping me do that, because I felt like I looked stunning. And that is very cool feeling, especially when you're going all out for a cosplay. That is really, really nice to feel both taken care of and comfortable while at like a huge concert that you're supposed to also be enjoying, but also like, dude, I want to also be Miku at this thing. So that was cool. I got a lot of like pressured weight off of my shoulders for doing that. And like, I have a ton of photos that I'll be including throughout this section about how I looked and what photos we took and what I was wearing and all this stuff. But it was really, really cool. So I had a great time. And the concert itself was really, really cool because I've never been to a concert where I don't basically know every single lyric of what's going on. Like, I've been to Baby No Money. I know his basic discography, essentially. I went to Kendrick Lamar. I know his discography. And those 2 concerts, I came out of the concert completely. My voice is shredded. My voice is dying. I can barely talk. I was like weak from jumping around everywhere. This was a lot more chill because I don't know I know like 2 of the songs like I'm familiar with. Still can't sing them, obviously. It's all in Japanese. I'm not very good at it. But 2 of the songs I'm familiar with. And then the entire set list, I'm kind of learning while I'm there. And that didn't take away from the enjoyment of the concert as much as I thought it might. Because I went in there and the concert started and I got a little worried about song 2. I'm like, oh, okay, this might not be my thing. But as the concert kind of went on, it was definitely my thing. And I'll get a little bit more into the details of the concert, but let me go back to like surrounding the concert really quick. When we got there about 2.5 hours early. We meant to get there a little earlier, but like we had this whole day of setup, which took a little bit longer, and then also photos. So we took our time here and then we had Chili's. So obviously going to the concert, we needed food. We got Chili's, and at that Chili's, there was a cool guy, kind of weird guy, kind of cool guy, but he came up to our table after. Obviously we're all in cosplay, and then also Max is there helping us out and like staying with us until the concert and stuff. But this one guy came up to us at the table that we were at in the corner, sat us in the corner, very funny. But we're getting looks, all this stuff, because we're in full cosplay. And this guy comes up, he's the like maybe manager or something, or a different server, not the one we had, but he came over and he's like talking to us about like, oh, what's up? My friend knows Vocaloid, and he's a little weird about it, but it was kind of nice to kind of be like, have someone acknowledge it. It was kind of cool, but it was also like, he was a little awkward about it. I don't think he knew how to talk to us about being in Vocaloid cosplay, but he had a friend that has this interest. So he was kind of like speaking on their behalf. It was cool. It's cool to be kind of like talked at. It was weird, but he was chilling. And then after Chili's, we dropped Max off and then we went to the concert. And that concert area is very, very cool. I love that arena. We saw a Lord in concert there before, and that was really, really neat. But it's very cool. So when we go there, there's this giant pit outside, and inside the pit is like a bunch of people that are going in and out of dancing. Like, I'll put a video here of people going in and out, but a lot of people know the choreography for a lot of the like very popular Miku songs that weren't in the set list, but were being played outside. So they would kind of flood in and out of this big, like semicircle dance like area. And it was really cool to see Tato's, Ren's, Lin. Like, it was really cool to see all these people in cosplay kind of popping off with like exact dances to the songs that I am like recognizing as they're being played, which is really cool. And they had so much fun with it. It was also kind of hot, but Georgia moment. So yeah, we sat around and watched there for a little bit. There was also a bunch of people just either in full cosplay or in shirts or in wigs and everything. It was the most dressed up concert that I've ever been to, which is like if you have a cosplay for a concert like Baby knows, I'm going to dress as Miku or something else. I'm going to do something for it. I like doing that. It's really fun. Even for Kendrick Lamar, I dressed a little bit more streetwear to dress down a bit, but it was really cool to see so many people go fully all out with either Miku's or their own favorite Vocaloids. It was really neat. Very, very cool. It was a lot more than I thought. It was a lot more than what I was used to with previous concerts. And I had expected that going in, which was cool. Also, the general vibes of the entire concert were just so phenomenal. Like, it was everybody's there and everyone's a little bit like, it's not like a concert with a huge variety. People that were going there are pretty young. They're like, you'd be pressed to find someone over 30. And it was really, really cool because everyone there was having just a really general good time. And I think that's not only because like the base of Miku invites just good things, but there's just a lot of positivity around like, I don't know, the message of a global icon that isn't like tied to anything either political or like anything that could be misconstrued as bad. Like the person behind the microphone's not going to be outed as a bad person because fuck it, it's Miku, which is cool. So, but the vibes were really, really chill to the point where like people were coming up and being like, your cosplay is so sick. Do you want a bracelet? And my God, did I get bracelets. I got a Tato bracelet from somebody who offered me that. And that was just awesome. I got an 01 wow. I got an 01 bracelet. That was really, really cool. I'm very, very happy with that. And I got this little like string thing from someone who was sitting near us at the concert. I got to tie that up. That was peak. But it was just a really good vibe of people being like, yeah, I know you're here for Miku. I know I'm here for Miku. And that's where it ends. This is just cool. So that was really, really neat. A lot of people with a lot of positive energy. Very, very cool. There was also, to emphasize like how chill this event was, there's a different section of it that was like, there's a group of people that kept bringing out Miku plushies. I think like very, very popular Miku plushies, but if you lift the hair up, you can see like Miku's very bad hairline because you can either detach it or whatever, or that's how the plushie comes. But there were a few people carrying around these Mikus, and every time there would be multiple chants, especially when we were in line to get in, because we got there early. We were a little bit closer to the front, but there was a point where someone had done that, raised the bald Miku up, and everyone just starts chanting bald, 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 bald at the freaking Miku that's being the Miku doll being raised, like basically put on a pedestal for like the shitty hairline they have.
Where is she?
Which was so fucking funny. I thought that was awesome because not only did it happen outside in line, it happened multiple times while we were all coming to our seats in the like venue. And that was really, really funny. I thought that was cool because I'll put a video here, but everyone was like pointing their light sticks in the direction of the bald Miku, screaming bald as if like giving it energy. It was so freaking cool. I thought that was really, really funny. I was not expecting that, but that was super, super funny. Yeah, we got in and then we stood in line for merch, and that was obviously long. That was long, but surprisingly available and surprisingly not that not that hard to get. That line was fucking moving. That's huge. And that's all you can basically ask for a fucking merch line, especially for Miku or anything. But yeah, we got really, really good seats as well. As you looked up from our place, I'll send videos and you'll see our like POV and everything. You just straight to the stage. Very, very cool. But yeah, it was really cool. During the concert, you'll see like not the mosh pit, but like the pit inside where everyone's seated is like controlling where the lights go and controlling what rhythm we do with the light sticks. Super, super cool, by the way. I've never been to a concert where that's like the main thing that you do, which is control the light sticks and like participate that much with each other. It was very cultish. I loved it. It was so, so, so cool. Plus, I get to come out with one of these. Very expensive, but well worth it. And that's not coming through too well, but it's like, it's got all the Vocaloids on it, which is super, super dope. Also, going into this, I thought it would be a lot more just Miku and then like one song from everybody else. It was a little bit more than that. Everybody else got about 2 songs. I think one of them got like 3 or 4, but it was really cool. And we watched like in post after the concert, we went to bed, but the next day we watched, actually, no, that's not true. We ended the concert and then we watched a video that night about like the history of Vocaloid. And that was really cool because I thought it had been around for a lot longer than it had. But like starting at basically 2004-ish was the first one. And then 2007 Miku came out. And then learning about that timeline from then to now, really cool. Really, really cool. Also, shout out Taito. Taito is not technically a Vocaloid, but is a Vocaloid, but isn't labeled a Vocaloid. Taito's my favorite. Don't ever diss on my girl. I fucking love Taito. Baseline. Me her fuck. Me her slap. We good. But yeah. No Taito at the concert. Very sad about that, but that's okay. Next year. Mark my fucking words. Next year. Very cool. Yeah, they played a bunch of again, to emphasize, they like played a bunch of the other Vocaloid songs, which I had not heard of at the time, but I learned like how big it was for these Vocaloids to be a thing, especially for the culture of Vocaloid and like synthetic, like robotic music. I'm going to group it like synthetic music, essentially. But there was a lot of other Vocaloids that had a lot of representation, and a lot more people were dressed up as them and not just Miku, which was very surprising. Very cool, but very surprising. Obviously, I'm going there for Miku, but very, very neat. And there were a bunch of big songs that I thought were going to be on there, but weren't. But at least Magical Cure Love Shot was. That was sick, because that's the one where she goes Miku Miku Beam, and that was fun as hell in concert. That's peak. No complaints. None. Because I'm also going there and I'm having the expectation that I'm going to know more, but I'm also super happy because once I like got into like the vibe of how everyone else was being, like with the light sticks and moving around properly and all this stuff, it was very, very in the moment, and I'm learning while I'm in there. So very, very cool. Very neat. Plus, I'm just having a good time. Also, one thing that I thought was really interesting that I didn't expect going into this was I thought they were going to blow up the Vocaloids to be bigger. I mean, that's something you can very easily do with a screen or a synthetic person, but they actually kept them very proportional. It almost provided like a real experience of like, hey, that's Miku. That's a real thing, but it's on a screen. You know, Miku's not real. Obviously, you know, all the characters aren't real. They aren't like beings, but they kept them proportional and moving very, very humanoid. And they didn't even like make them bigger just so you could see them better. I thought that was really neat. Like, I thought that was super cool that like they didn't just cut corners. They made it very, very tangible, very like akin to a real person performing. That was super, super sick. I thought that was really cool. Also, shout out to Atlanta for actually showing up to a Miku concert. That place was packed. I thought that was super cool. That was very, very interesting. I obviously expected to be sold out. It was sold out very, very early. Tickets were very pricey by the time we had bought them, even like a week out of their release in October. But it was very impressive to see so many people there for just Miku, something Japanese over on the East Coast of America. Very cool. Very, very, very neat. So, and then finally, to wrap up the entire like expo, on our drive home, we stopped and got Baskin Robbins. Amazing ice cream, good ice cream. And we got this awesome photo of Lemon and the lesbian ice cream. Very peak, very lovely. So yeah, it was a really, really good time. Really good way to end off the entire night, because It was also really cool. Lemon made a big note of this throughout the concert. We stayed seating when like she had hopes that we'd all be standing and cheering and stuff. But it was really, really nice because with the light sticks and all the movement and stuff, it was still a lot of high energy like people. Everyone was there to have a phenomenally exciting, great time. But I didn't feel fucking exhausted afterwards, which was super sick. I enjoyed that part. I didn't feel like my legs were going to die or my fucking voice was going to literally break the next day. That was really cool. Very, very excited. So I felt like rewarded for going. Huge. I still need to get earplugs. I think the warnings of like permanent ear loss should be taken very seriously. If you're going to a concert, you should get earplugs. And I need to listen to my friend Jack when he tells me about that. Genius. So if there is a 2027 set list, I absolutely want to see one Taito song, especially with how popular Jamie Page has been getting. I listened to her whole album when I discovered it. Super, super natural discovery, by the way. I found that out all myself, not even recommended through a friend or anything. And then I was the one who recommended it to a bunch of people. That was so cool to be like, to like discover my own sense of like what I really, really like without any influence whatsoever. But yeah, I hope Jamie Page has got some representation because she's doing a frick ton with Taito's voice. And I think that's so healthy, not only for like the brand of that Vocaloid, but also just for Vocaloid in general, because she's not like directly branding it as Vocaloid, even though it is. It's like mainstream almost. Like a lot of her songs are just so frick good. So good. So if they do a 2027 or like anything in the future, please come back to Atlanta. Please. And I would love to see Taito in it. That would be super freaking sick. So cool. But yeah, that would be my only hope, is that like the next time I go to this is that Taito's involved. But apart from that, that would be so cool. Anyways, I digress. I'm repeating myself. Yeah, I had a good time. Look at me. I actually made a video. That's so sick. Let's see if I can edit it. I'm going to do something there. But yeah. Hello, Junimo. Any words for the camera? Oh, yeah. As far as merch goes, I got this really, really sick hoodie on the back. Very, very cool. And Kem also got one. I was talked into this. It was a little bit too much money, but we don't have to worry about that. Don't worry about it. We're good. Buy it now. Stress about it later. That's what matters. That's what matters. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But hopefully I see Miku again in person. So that was really cool. Yeah, smash this like button, share with someone you know who wants to go to the Miku Expo. Highly recommend it. Very cool. Yeah, it was a great time. And I do appreciate you watching, especially if you're here. No, I love you. No, I appreciate you. Shout out Fireplace. Did that last time. Shout out Fireplace. Gonna do it again. Shout out Room Redesign. Has that been there the whole time? Yep, I just left this ugly box of wires here. Very cool. Yeah. Peace out. Thank you.